I hate when men be like, that's the good girl that got away. No, nigga, she didn't get away. You pushed her away. You broke her, so she had to roll away. She didn't just get away like it happened by chance, like the wind blew her. Your inability to emotionally connect with this woman, to think outside of yourself, pushed her away. It ain't the good girl that got away like somebody stole her. You pushed her away. Quit saying that shit. Because if you keep thinking that good girls just get away like that, you will not change what you need to change inside yourself so that the next one don't get away from you. Quit pushing women away and not taking accountability by saying she just got away. No, you wasn't ready to receive her, bro. You wasn't intentional. You didn't know what to do with a good woman. See, here's the problem. We all pray for good women, but sometimes we ain't in a season where we can effectively receive her. You're praying for a good woman in your boy season. Make that make sense.
Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Vicadi again. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video is another interesting one that will brighten your day, I promise. Men say they want good women. A man attracts a good woman and makes her fall in love with him. She takes care of him, she gives him her heart, she gives him her soul, she nurtures him. And instead of treating her like a queen, it destroys her and fumbles her. This high level of irresponsibility is causing more good women to regret getting married. I just don't get it. Why do men always push good women away?
Dealing with a good woman comes with responsibility. When you know you got somebody that's down for you and isn't going to cause you problems, that isn't going to bring that toxic immaturity into your life, it forces you to also bring the same thing to the table. And many men know that they don't have that and that they're not prepared for it. Commitment means you have to sacrifice. You have to let go of your childish ways and your selfish ways. You got to think about somebody else and how your feelings and actions impact them. And if a man isn't ready for that, he will find any reason and excuse to not date. When he is ready for that commitment, he'll find every reason to date you. Everything will flip. Men are operating and committed to what they believe on the inside is right for them. His actions will tell you everything you need to know. So don't ignore the signs.
Very, very good question. Listen, it's not about you. It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. Some men, they can't handle strong women. They can't handle women that they cannot control. You're just too good. You know how to plan. You always put him in order. You're telling him how to, about his career, what he needs to do to be a better man. He feels intimidated. Listen, don't change who you are, because there's a man for you out there that will really appreciate you. A man that is looking for a woman like you, a woman that have values. Men like that, they love women that they don't have value. All they want from you is sex. But you're more than that, and that's why you're having the problem. You are a good woman. So don't think it's about you. Don't look at yourself and say, why am I always like this? No, there's a
Coach, why do men push good women away? Okay, let me tell you. Number one, he pushes her away because he doesn't want to elevate. He doesn't want to become a better version of himself. And he realizes that if I stay with this particular woman, I gotta be better, and I'm unwilling to sacrifice that. Number two, he's intimidated. See, many men are intimidated by a woman, number one, who knows who she is. Number two, she is secure in her right, in the woman that she's become, and she does not need him for her happiness. She's already happy. She just wants to be in a loving relationship, and he's intimidated by that. Number three, she cannot be controlled. Men push away women who they can't control, especially if they have those controlling behaviors, those narcissistic behaviors. When they can't control you, when you are a critical thinker and you think for yourself, they will push you away. And last but definitely not least, he knows that he's not shit. He's not ready for this type of relationship. He's not willing to give up who he is to who he must become to be with you.
When a man fumbles a good woman, he will carry that shit in his chest till the day he dies. And I got a masterclass in this when I was just 9 years old, and I witnessed my stepbrother fumble the woman of his dreams, the one that got away. And I think he was about 20 at the time, but this woman, my God, she was the kind of woman that fit the description of any R&B song from the early 2000s, she was all that. I will never forget at the Christmas gathering how many people pulled him aside and was like, you better marry that one. She's incredible. And what did he do? He shit the bed. I think he even cheated on her. And the thing is that I ended up catching up with him probably 5 or 6 years ago because my dad ended up divorcing his mother. And I asked him about it. I was like, what happened there? And I will never forget what he said to me. When you're young, you think that every woman is going to be like that. And he said, that is one regret that I will have for the rest of my life. I wish I could just take her to dinner and apologize for what an asshole I was. And the thing is that now he's married and he has kids, and I already know that he has put his wife through so much more than the one that got away. And so I want you to really get through your head that the reward for putting up with nonsense is more nonsense. After that breakup with that woman, his life went downhill. But that woman, the one that got away, she got her degree. She bought a house in her mid-20s. Last time I checked, she's traveling the world. So it's far better to be the one that got away than the one who stayed and who he changed for.
Here's why men push away a woman, okay, who cares about him, all right? Somebody told me to do a video on this on my last live stream, and I told him I would. So pay close attention to listen up. Number one, oftentimes when men do this, it's simply because of the fact that, and this is a hard truth, but they talking to somebody else or they found somebody else, okay? They have a lot of options, especially if it's a dude who has a lot of options. If you got a lot of options, he'll probably do this, all right? He probably found somebody that he thinks or deems as a better fit. Number two, oftentimes men push away a woman because they are not in the best place in their life, okay? Especially if this is a woman who is kind of like pushing towards wanting to be in something serious, more serious than they have been, okay? He's like, nah, I ain't the best place financially. I ain't ready to settle down, this and that. And number three, oftentimes it can be because he's still healing from his past relationships and trauma and experiences, okay? And he may need or feel like he need more time. So he got to let you go, push you away. Like a Chef Part 2.
Do you know one thing I've learned about men? Men do not like nice women. Like, men do not like nice women. Men won't tell you this, but men do not like women that won't put down their foot. Like, you see, if a man knows that woman's too nice, he will take the ultimate piss out of you. This is why I tell women, do not be nice to these men. Like, you gotta be rude to them. You gotta let them know wagwan. You gotta show a nigga that you're cruddy. Like, you see, the more cruddy you are to a nigga will respect you more, because you see, when you're too nice, a man will know that he can use you to his advantage. So my advice would be to a woman is never ever 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 be too nice to these men. You can be nice, but don't be overly nice to these men, because men will use that to their advantage. You see, nice women, they never last. It's always the woman that be badding up their man who last in the end. I'm telling you that.
Unfortunately, loyal women tend to get treated the worst. Not because they love too much, but because they're not loved enough in return. But you see, the tricky thing about a loyal woman is that while she'll love you through your storm, you got to realize you might be getting comfortable seeing her weather your chaos, but she's also documenting every time you chose to be thunder. Basically, she'll prove to you that she'll stay down through the hard times, but don't get comfortable creating them, because she's not dumb and her loyalty is not a blank check for your betrayal. So those chances that she keeps on giving you, those aren't free passes to ignore her feelings. That's rope to hang yourself with when all of this comes crashing down and you begging her to unblock you. And playing victim about how bad of a job she's doing at forgiving you for fumbling her, that's not going to be enough to manipulate her back into survival mode that you kept her in. Because while you were busy taking her for granted, she was busy taking notes. And because you didn't appreciate her presence, she knew one day she would have to leave you with her absence. And not because she's broken or bitter, but because she's evolved and now knows better. And a major part of that evolution for every good woman is the point that a man's mistreatment pushes her to, where she finally accepts that in order to not lose herself, she better stop being loyal to a man who's so comfortable losing her.
Something I've noticed is that a lot of men will hurt the woman that they're with and just say sorry, as if sorry is supposed to fix the problem and or the issue. And of course, it doesn't. All sorry means is that you are acknowledging that you hurt her. You are acknowledging the pain and the suffering that you put her through. Now, there are extra steps that is necessary to take after you apologize and acknowledge the part that you play in the situation in order to hurt her. Because now she wants to talk about it. She wants to work through it. She wants to dissect it. She wants to understand what your thought process was when you made the decisions that you made. And unfortunately, that really doesn't happen. Instead, what happens is, hey, I said sorry, that should be enough. You need to get over it. Followed by, hey, you're being too emotional right now. You shouldn't even be crying. You shouldn't be that upset. It wasn't even that bad of what I did. In reality, women aren't too emotional. They're simply having a natural reaction to the situation. And the thing is that when it comes to expressing emotions and feelings, a lot of men don't do it. So when a woman is crying because she's sad, that's not her overreacting, that's her reacting. And the reason why it's perceived as overreacting is because men don't react the same way women do when they get mad, sad, or upset. Actually, it looks like that a lot of men don't care. They're being nonchalant. They come off cold-hearted. They come off as they're not interested in the situation any longer, and it doesn't bother them the way it bothers their woman. And that causes even more pain to that woman, because not only is this man not emotionally invested in his woman being in pain and hurting, but he's not even emotionally invested to work on the situation that he caused. And inevitably, that sorry means nothing down the line as the actions continue and nothing changes. Saying sorry is almost like giving a band-aid to someone who just received a gunshot wound and expecting that band-aid to cure them and to help them and to heal them. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, if you were man enough to make a decision that could potentially hurt your woman, then be man enough to work through the things with her when she's not okay because of the decision that you decide to make.
Hey girl, I don't know who needs to hear this, but men don't run away from women. They actually run away from the parts of themselves that they need to fix to actually deserve those women. There's a difference. It's not about you. It never was about you. It's about them.
Here are 4 reasons why some men push away good women. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, commitment issues. They are afraid of making a long-term commitment, or they have some previous relationship trauma. That can make a man hesitant to fully invest in a healthy relationship, and therefore causing them to push away someone that they feel may be a good partner. Number 2, the fear of missing out. Social media may have men chasing the mirage of greener grass that usually only looks greener on the gram. Number 3, afraid of hurting you. He know he ain't ready for no relationship, and he does not want to involve you in the malarkey. He does not want to mess up any potential future that could be, because he knows the headspace he's in. He doesn't want to mess it up. And y'all, I kind of respect that. Number 4, a lack of confidence. He doesn't feel deserving of a good relationship. He doesn't feel deserving of a good woman. A lot of times this is due to how his last relationship ended. He may carry a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. He may not have forgiven himself for how he showed up in his last relationship, and therefore pushes away good women, because deep down inside, he doesn't feel deserving of one.
Men leave good women for 2 reasons. Number 1, he got it mixed up. He thought that you were treating him like a king because he was actually a king, rather than you were treating him like a king because you loved him. So what does he do? He leaves. He goes out into the world, gets his butt kicked, and within that moment, he realizes, wow, she treated me like a king because she actually loved me. And now he's trying to come back. He will be back, ladies. He will be back. Number 2, he's just not a good man. And he cannot stand the standards of a good woman. He doesn't like being held accountable.
Why do men push great women away? Make sure you listen to the last one. Number 1, he knows he's going to have to step up his game. Who he needs to be with a woman like you, he's not willing to go there. He's not willing to do the work, and he's not willing to sacrifice his comfort. Number 2, he's actually intimidated by a woman who knows herself and is very comfortable with herself. This is particularly men who are not comfortable with themselves. They're not in a place in their life where they feel really solid, and you'll reflect that to them and they'll feel uncomfortable. In fact, they'll actually prefer someone who's more destabilized in their life because they'll feel a little bit superior. 3, they're not willing to give up their current lifestyle, the way that they're being, where they're going, what they're doing, because maybe they see you as a woman about your business with boundaries, that you have a high self-respect, that you just wouldn't put up with certain type of behaviors. And so for that reason, he can think that you're an amazing woman and highly attractive, but he's not willing to change that for you over anybody. And number 4, he realizes that you can't be controlled or manipulated. Some women are insecure, or they want love so much that they will trade their integrity for approval. And so with some women who are great women, who have everything going for them, they're not easy to control. They're not easy to manipulate. They will ask you questions if you're talking rubbish. And so for that reason, they know they're not going to get away with their game with you. So you could be the most incredible woman, but if they know deep down they're not the most incredible man to match that, they're going to say goodbye. Go to my bio and have a look at the resources there. It's a really good place to start with. The membership is fantastic to really call in high quality partners.
Oftentimes, men consciously or unconsciously push good women away. They always live to regret this, but it's oftentimes too late, because just then there's already a Jezebel sent from hell as punishment for them. Why do men always push good women away? 1, fear of commitment. Men run away from commitment. They feel having a woman so close to them feels like a step to marriage, and it's very scary to a few men who are not ready for a lifetime commitment. So irrespective whether the woman is good, he pushes her away. 2, defense mechanism. Men who have been hurt before, who have come out from an emotional abusive marriage or relationship, tend to protect their hearts. These men are not patient to see the good in any woman, and the good woman is pushed away irrespective. 3, attachment and dependence. He's pushing her away because he doesn't want to emotionally be dependent on her. He doesn't want to rely on her. He doesn't want to be in an emotional entanglement with her. He will stay conscious for that not to happen, and he pushes that good woman away. 4, low self-esteem or self-confidence. Men who suffer from low self-esteem will push any woman and even push the good woman away. You might just be a victim of this. 5, trust issues. Trust is everything in a relationship or marriage. If he has trust issues, he would push anyone away because he has a problem. He would always doubt anything you bring to the table. He has trust issues, and he will never see the good in you. He would push any good woman away. Men can be stubborn. They will never agree that they need help. They will never agree that they have a problem. They would rather keep struggling than find a solution. This man needs help. This man needs therapy and counseling, or he's going to destroy himself. So go get help. I hope this helps.
Hey ladies, come here, let me talk to you for a second. Sometimes the best quality you can find in a man is a man that knows how to not take a good woman for granted. A man that can see because he understands your value. A man that don't have to lose you to appreciate you. Find you a man that knows your worth, that knows how you fit in his life, because all his life he has prepared his nest, not just financially, but his heart, emotionally, his mind, mentally, to be able to receive a woman like you. Sometimes the best quality in a man is not his height, not his money, not his physique, not his smile, but his ability to recognize your worth. My point I'm trying to say is, too many men fumble good women because they don't know a good woman when they see one. It takes chance after chance after chance in order for them to know your worth. And at that point, you are broken. What I'm trying to say is, sometimes the best quality in a man is a man that doesn't have to break you first in order to see your worth. Period.
Here are 9 reasons why men push good women away. Let's go. Number 1, he's afraid of commitment. Number 2, he's just not ready for a relationship. Number 3, he's been hurt in the past and he's just afraid that he might get hurt again. Number 4, he might be intimidated by the woman's strength, her success, or her independence. Number 5, he may be feeling overwhelmed by the intensity of the relationship. Number 6, he may not be mature enough to handle a serious and committed relationship. Number 7, he may have unresolved issues or traumas from his past. Number 8, you both have different goals, dreams, and values. And number 9, he may be feeling insecure or inadequate to be in that relationship with you.
Have you ever wondered why it is that some dudes are always looking for a slightest opportunity to humble women? In most of these situations where we see men trying to humble women, usually it's just a projection of their own insecurities. And it has nothing to do with the woman, but everything to do with the man attempting to do the humbling. One of the main reasons is that they want to have control and power over that woman. And this just goes to show how insecure they are, because when a weak man like this sees a confident, strong woman, it brings out his own insecurities and triggers him. They know she's not easily controlled and easily manipulated, so they try to have leverage over her by humbling her and asserting their superiority, all to avoid feeling weak and insecure. Their insecurities are so obvious that when they see someone else happy and confident, it triggers their insecurities. So now they need to bring this person down to their level because they can't stand the fact of someone being more confident and happier than them. And here are a few phrases that men will typically tell women to try and humble them. You're not that special. How many times have we all heard that one? He knows that she's special, and that's exactly why he's telling her, because the fact that she is special, she has something different, something that he wants, but he can't have it. So again, he tries to bring her down and humble her. I like natural beauty is another one. Now, there's nothing wrong with a man desiring natural beauty, but it all boils down to your tone, your delivery, your words, and ultimately your message and how you choose to convey it. Let me put myself as an example just to elaborate on my point. If I'm having a conversation with a woman that's wearing makeup and literally out of nowhere, out of left field, I just start telling her that I like women with natural beauty, I don't like makeup. Out of nowhere, no one asked me, and that wasn't even part of the conversation. And if I even go as far as telling her, you probably go from an 8 to a 3 without the makeup, you probably don't look as pretty without the makeup, etc., that is where the difference lies. That is clearly a condescending message with a condescending tone. Compare that to if we were sitting at a table with a group of friends and beauty standards start to arise and we start talking about beauty standards and someone asks me, yo, how do you like women? Do you like them to be fit with makeup or no makeup? What's your take on that? And if I responded with, personally, I prefer them to be naturally beautiful. If they want to add makeup, that's fine. But I prefer a woman with natural beauty. Big difference. Big difference. And that is how some dudes will try to humble women. Oh, you're not an 8 without that makeup. Bro, shut up. She ain't wearing that makeup for you anyway. I've never been one to believe that it's in my position to humble someone. I can care less. I don't care if you're humble or not. If you're not humble, I'll probably just stay away from you. Life will humble you eventually if you really need it. That is not in my position.
You need to sit back and let him lose you. Let him go on with her. Let him think the grass is greener on the other side. Let him think that she's better than you. Let him take your love for granted and sleep on your worth, because in due time, he will realize the very big mistake that he has made. And in that time, it will be enough time for you to accept that you are so much better without him. Any man who realizes he misses you after he has left you to go sleep with another woman on you is not worth giving a second chance to. Do not go back, not tomorrow, not in 5 years, not in 10, because a man who left you once would do it again and again. However, you do you. But remember, I told you.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. Drop your thoughts, advice, experiences, tips in the comments section. This is a community where we have rich conversations, okay? So subscribe, because I drop hot topic content like this every day, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the conversations, okay? Like this video and share this video with someone you want to be part of these conversations. I'll see you all in my next one.